So is the Pittsburg torque wrench actually accurate? Now I did test this, the 3/8 and quarter, and surprisingly, they did pass my accuracy testing with the Snap-on torque wrench tester. But then it's a question of, well, maybe did I get lucky? So I went ahead and bought 5 more of those 1/2-inch drive torque wrenches selectively. So they weren't all bought at the same store, the same day, over the course of the past year. So I'm gonna go ahead, get these unpacked, get them marked, and we'll go ahead and do an initial audit there on the torque wrench tester, do 1,000 cycles on each one here, and we'll go ahead and see what the results are. So for every use, you're supposed to actually exercise the torque wrench, meaning running all the way up to the max torque, and then backing this all the way back off, and then setting it to your desired torque. So I normally do that, and then my setting, I will go ahead and cycle the wrench 5 times at the setting before actually torquing the fastener. Now I'll go ahead and audit the rest of those. Then we'll take a look at the data. So yeah, overall from the initial audit here, right out of the box, they are within spec. Now some are right on the edge, but surprisingly, they are actually all within spec. All right, so I did 1,000 cycles on each of the torque wrenches. We're gonna go ahead and audit these again and compare it to the initial audit. So here we have the before and after 1,000 cycles audits. And it's quite shocking, even after we factor in the accuracy of the tester, which is plus or minus 0.5%. It's crazy to think something around $20 here could have an accuracy of sub plus or minus 4%. So one thing to keep in mind here, I did gather these over a course of a year, and there is a difference in build. So it seems like we have 2 different versions here, even though the model number on the box is the same. But we can clearly see some differences here in these torque wrenches. Starting at the top here, we have a plated lever versus a just plain steel. Then we have a protection O-ring to try to keep trash out of the torque wrench, followed by a serial number sticker. And then at the base, the actual nut is different, along with the locking screw. Only way I could tell the difference from the packaging is it seems the older model here ends in 9.6 and is made in Taiwan, while the newer model ends in 2.4 and is made in Vietnam. So if you're looking for the one with the O-ring, look for it to be made in Vietnam. But again, overall, I'm quite impressed. I would never expect that out of a $20 torque wrench. Honestly, I've walked by these in the store and kind of laughed, thinking to myself, how could they even be anywhere near accurate? But I will say, no matter if it's this cheap Pittsburg or if it's a Snap-on, one key thing to remember with these is exercise them. And I also recommend doing a couple clicks before you actually are torquing the hardware. Another thing, in my personal opinion, I would not be doing engine work with this torque wrench. Even though, yes, I tested 6 of them here. They passed on the Snap-on torque wrench tester. Again, I wouldn't be doing engine work with this. If you're doing engine work, spend the extra money, and get something like this Icon split beam. But overall, if you're needing a cheap torque wrench to get you out of a bind, or you're just looking for a general torque wrench, surprisingly, yes, the Pittsburg seems to be a good option. Hopefully you found this video useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.